20 people are currently in jail. Police say some of them are also connected to a murder-for-hire plot that was foiled by officers.
America, Miami police just took down a coca trafficking organization so dangerous that they were planning murders to protect their operation. Over 22 kilograms of coca seized, more than $120,000 in cash recovered. And here's the kicker: detectives disrupted a murder-for-hire plot. This operation, called El Primo, Operation Cousin, exposed an organized criminal empire trafficking cocaine through South Florida while planning to kill anyone who threatened their business. And this comes at a time when coca in America is cheaper, pure, and more widespread than it's ever been in decades.
Today alone, detectives were able to arrest at least 20 subjects involved in this ring. This investigation also resulted in the disruption of a murder to hire.
What is up, guys? TYSON DELACRUZ here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is exactly the kind of operation we need to see happen in every major city in America. Miami police didn't just arrest street-level dealers. They dismantled an entire trafficking organization and saved a life in the process. Let me break down what Miami police accomplished with Operation Primo. At least 20 suspects involved in this coca trafficking ring were arrested in coordinated raids across multiple neighborhoods. But my friends, they are not done. At least 11 additional suspects are still being sought in connection in this case.
They are still working to arrest more individuals in connection.
The investigation dates back to 2024 and has resulted in significant seizures. Detectives recovered more than 22 kilograms of cocaine. That is 50 pounds of pure coca that was destined for South Florida streets. They seized over $120,000 in cash and multiple firearms with ammunition.
They say the wave of arrests happened simultaneously in Little Havana, Flagami, and Coralway areas Tuesday morning.
The arrests were carried out simultaneously in Little Havana and Carroll Way area. This wasn't a single location bust. This was a coordinated takedown across multiple Miami neighborhoods designed to hit the entire organization at once so they couldn't warn each other or destroy evidence. Miami Police Chief Manuel Morales said this takedown sends a clear, unmistakable message. Drug trafficking and the violence that follows it will not be tolerated in Miami. They will continue to dismantle criminal organizations, remove dangerous offenders from the streets, and protect the people of Miami. Now let's talk about this murder-for-hire plot that was disrupted during this investigation, because this is where you see how dangerous these trafficking organizations really are. Miami Police spokesperson Cara DeVella said detectives learned about a murder-for-hire case through this ongoing investigation.
I was also told that at least one person's life was saved as a result of dismantling the murder-for-hire plot, and at least 11 more people are expected to be arrested. It is unknown when.
The identity of the intended victim has not been released for their protection, but authorities confirmed that somebody was targeted for death by this organization, and law enforcement intervention prevented that murder from actually happening. I've said it time and time again, this is the reality of drug trafficking organizations. They don't just sell drugs, they use violence, they use intimidation and murder to protect their operations and eliminate any threats. When someone becomes a problem, whether it's a rival dealer, a witness, or somebody who owes them money, they don't go to court, they hire somebody to kill them. The fact that Miami police were able to identify and stop this murder plot shows the value of long-term investigations. When you take time to build a case properly, infiltrate the organization, gather intelligence, you don't just make drug arrests, you prevent murders and additional crimes and save lives. This Miami bust is happening against the backdrop of a massive cocaine crisis that's sweeping across America. Most people don't even realize how bad that it's gotten. Cocaine in the United States today is cheaper, purer, and more widespread than it's ever been in decades. According to Millennium Health, cocaine consumption between 2019 and 2025 increased significantly. We're not talking about a small uptick. We're talking about a major surge in cocaine use across the country, and the regional patterns are pretty striking. In the West, fentanyl is often mixed with methamphetamine. In the Northeast, fentanyl is more often found alongside cocaine. So depending where you are in the country, cocaine users are getting getting their drugs laced with deadly fentanyl without them even knowing. By early 2025, although fentanyl detections fell from their peak in 2022, fentanyl-associated polysubstance use remain high, with cocaine a commonly co-detected drug. That means people are still dying from fentanyl, but now it's being mixed with cocaine instead of just being sold as fake pills. This, my friends, is why operations like El Primo are so critical. Every kilogram seized is potentially hundreds of lives saved. According to the federal indictment, unsealed in this case, the 24 defendants, including the 20 already arrested, are charged with conspiracy to traffic large quantities of cocaine in and around Miami-Dade County and everywhere else in the Southern District of Florida. The 8-count superseding indictment charges each defendant with drug trafficking, conspiracy, and related offenses. The defendants formed what investigators describe as an operational organization specifically designed to traffic cocaine throughout South Florida.
Apparently, these individuals were involved in an operation or organization to traffic cocaine.
This wasn't a loose connection of independent dealers. This was a structured criminal organization with defined roles, defined territories, and operations. Some members handled transportation, others handled distribution, some managed the money, and some apparently handled enforcement through violence and murder for hire plots. The investigation involved undercover narcotics detectives from Miami police, along with the FBI and the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. This multiple agency approach allowed investigators to build a comprehensive case that targeted the entire organization from the top to the bottom.
The investigation started as far back as 2024. Police says they seized more than 22 kilograms of cocaine, over $120,000 in cash, firearms, and ammunitions.
The U.S. attorney on this case said this particular indictment reflects months of coordinated investigative work by federal agents and the City of Miami Police Department under Chief Morales' leadership. They targeted a large-scale cocaine trafficking conspiracy operation in South Florida. If convicted, several of the defendants face up to life imprisonment. Others face up to 40 years in prison, and some face up to 20 years in prison, depending on their specific charges and criminal history. The indictment also contains general forfeit allegations seeking the forfeit of proceeds and property traceable to the charged offenses. That means that the government is going after everything these defendants bought with the drug money. We're talking about houses, cars, jewelry, bank accounts, everything. Miami Police Chief Manuel Morales made a powerful statement about what Operation Primo represents. He said this takedown sends a clear, unmistakable message. Drug trafficking and the violence that follows will not be tolerated in Miami. Chief Morales said he's extremely proud of the narcotics detectives from the Special Investigators section and grateful for the hundreds of hours of tireless, often undercover work that led to this safe and successful operation. This is the kind of leadership we need in law enforcement. Chief Morales isn't making excuses. He's not blaming society or poverty or lack of opportunities. He's holding criminals accountable and praising the officers who risk their lives to protect their community.
They said it's the second wave of Operation Primo, which included undercover detectives, FBI agents, and the state attorney's office.
America, Operation Primo just showed us what happens when law enforcement has resources, the leadership, and political will to go after drug trafficking organizations very aggressively. 22 arrests, 11 more suspects being hunted, over 22 kilograms of cocaine off the streets, a murder for hire plot disrupted, and at least one life saved. But here's what this case really exposes. Cocaine in America is cheaper, purer, and more widespread than it's ever been in decades. Consumption increased significantly between 2019 and 2025 and is now being laced with fentanyl, turning every line of cocaine into Russian roulette. The 22 kilograms seized in Operation El Primo could have killed thousands of people. The murder plot that they stopped would have claimed at least one more victim. And the 11 suspects being hunted right now are probably trying to rebuild what Miami police just destroyed. This, my friends, isn't over. It is just the beginning of taking back our streets from these criminal cartels. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comments section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.